Good morning, learners. This is Ma'am Chi, and we'll discuss the first MELP for the second quarter, which is make connections between text, particular social issues, concerns, or dispositions in life. And for today, we have the following objectives. First, name words or expressions used in making connections. Second, identify the connection used in the situations. And third, make connections by using the different sentence stems. Making connections is a critical reading comprehension strategy that helps students make meaning of what they are reading. When students make connections to the text that they are reading, it helps them to make sense of what they read, retain the information better, and engage more with the text itself. Making connections is a strategy that can assist you in understanding or analyzing the information read. Are you ready to make connections? First, do this activity. Directions. Identify the kind of connection established in each item by writing the letter of your answer in your notebook. Number 1. I read a book about what life was like before electricity. It reminded me of the time I went camping in a cabin that had no electricity. Give the kind of connection mirrored in this situation. A. Text to self. B. Text to text. C. Text to word. And D. All of the above. Number 2. I read another book about the spiders that explained that the spiders have venom. And in this book, I am learning about the top 10 dangerous spiders of the world. A. Text to self. B. Text to text. C. Text to word. D. All of the above. What type of connection is this? I read a chapter book about a girl who worked in a factory in New York. It reminded me of an article that I read in school about child labor laws. Give the kind of connection mirrored in this situation. A. Text to self. B. Text to text. C. Text to word. And D. All of the above. Good job, class! In order for you to understand better the lesson, let me give you the following notes. Let us have now the 3 types of connection. First, a text-to-self connection is when a text or a book makes you think of something that happened to yourself. It can be a connection with an experience or a character's feeling or action in the story. Here are a few sentence stems to use when making text-to-self connections. First, this reminds me of when I. Second, this makes me think of when I. And third, I felt the same way. Second, text-to-text connections help the students to identify themes and main ideas, and to notice characteristics of an author's writing style or commonalities of writing in general across authors. You are connecting the characters, setting, or events from one story to another. Here are the sentence stems that you can use. First, the character in this story is like the character in. Second, the setting in this story is the same as the setting in. Third, this event is like when. And fourth, these 2 stories are alike. Here are examples of creating text-to-text connections. First, what does this remind you of in another book you have read? Second, how is this text similar to other books you have read? Third, how is this text different from other things you have read? Fourth, have I read about something like this before? And the third type, text connections that you bring to a reading situation. You all have ideas about how the world works that goes far beyond your personal experiences. You learn about things through television, movies, magazines, and newspapers. Often, it is the text-to-word connections that teachers are trying to enhance when they teach lessons in science, social studies, and literature. Here are some examples of questions that you can use to facilitate text-to-word connections. First, what does this remind me of in the real world? Second, how is this text similar to things that happen in the real world? Third, how is this different from things that happen in the real world? And fourth, how did that part relate to the world around me? Now, let me check if you really understood our discussion. Directions. Read each of the statements. Write check mark if it shows text-to-word connection. X if it shows text-to-self. And XX if it shows text-to-text connection. First, Jonah is reading a science fiction story. In the story, she thinks that what happens to the character could also happen to her if she doesn't change her diet. Number 2. Xavier is reading a book where a character decides of quitting from school. It reminds him of his cousin who also thought of leaving school for computer games. Number 3. While reading, Arnold notices that the main character in the story is goal-oriented, just like the main character in the book he read yesterday. 4. Rose is reading a book about natural calamities. When she is reading, she thinks about the news story she just watched concerning how damaging Typhoon Ulysses brought to her country. 5. Martha is reading a book about dolphins. She observes that something she read opposes a fact she saw on television, so she makes a note to look it up when she gets home. Congratulations! Now, for your second activity, you try this one. Directions. Using the given materials, make a connection by completing the following statements. Thank you for participating. Again, this is Mom G.